Welcome to Lair the Alchemist, and today is truly a Judas Priest day. We've got the new album Invincible Shield out. I'm getting ready to leave in about an hour to go see KK's Priest. Got my Judas Priest shirt on, so it's all about Judas Priest today. Okay, Invincible Shield. Wow, what a last 2 weeks. We had Bruce's new album last week. Here we got a new Judas Priest album. It's a good time to be a metal fan. What are my thoughts on the record? I've given it about 3 or 4 listens. I think it's good. Now, you may sense some hesitation in my voice. There isn't necessarily anything I can get really mad about on this record, but there also isn't a whole lot that just blows my mind or gets me really, really excited. I think that if you're a fan of Firepower and maybe Redeemer of Souls and basically what Judas Priest has been doing, take Nostradamus out of the mix since Rob has come back, you're probably going to like this record. And again, there's nothing to really complain about on this album. There's a lot of good Judas Priest music on here. There's a lot of fast riffing. There's a lot of cool riffs. Rob sounds great. The band sounds great. The production is good. Great solos, great drumming. But there is just this little bit of maybe not enough variety. Maybe it's because I'm still a little bit in the headspace of Bruce and the Mandrake Project, and I know that some people didn't like this about the Mandrake Project. They felt like there was too much variety between songs. Like I saw somebody talking about it and they said it sounds like these songs on Bruce's album were recorded at all kinds of different times. But I appreciated that about that record. The fact that the guitar sound changes from song to song. I appreciated that. Here on this album, there's a little bit that it's too much of the same. Too many songs are at the same tempo. The guitar sound is set from the beginning, and that's what you get through the whole thing. And because of the way it's mixed, the modern mixing style, which is where everything's a little bit compressed, there isn't a lot of dynamic range, it gets almost drony after a while. It's just too samey, where the guitar is just right there at the same level through too much of the record. So I could have stood for a bit more variety. Maybe a ballad like When the Night Comes Down, maybe something slightly off the wall like Heavy Duty or Take on the World or something like that, or Beyond the Realms of Death. I don't know, anything to give a little bit more variety to what's happening here, because after a while it gets a little fatiguing on the ears. Now, I don't have the vinyl yet. I've been listening on Apple Music, Dolby Atmos, as well as the lossless version. And I'm a little bit confused with what are the bonus track things. From what I understand, the last 3 songs, at least on the version I'm listening to on Apple Music, are bonus tracks. So there's a total of 14 songs on here. That's too much music. That clocks in at 62. What do we got here? 62 minutes, 63 minutes and 48 seconds. That's too much. And you could say, well, those are the bonus tracks. But actually, I like the bonus tracks. There's some of my favorite stuff on here. I made a playlist of my favorite songs from this album, and it came down to 9 songs, 44 minutes. To me, that would have been a more appropriate length. 45 minutes would have worked a little bit better. It would have done away with some of the more, the songs that just sound too samey for me. Like, for instance, what is this? Victims. I can't read my own handwriting here. Vicious Circle, for instance, is a good example of, by the time this one comes up, which is, where is this on the record here? It's one of the bonus tracks, the second to last bonus tracks. It just sounds like a play by the numbers Return of Rob era Judas Priest song. It's just too much of the same. You can hear it in your head, that sort of same type of tempo, that sort of riffs down low, kind of chugging along. And there's just too much of that on this record. Like Devil in Disguise, I didn't really. Let me give you the songs that I did like. The songs that made my 9 song. I made a playlist and I called it Judas Priest A Better Shield because these are my favorite songs. And if it was just these, I think it would have flowed a lot better. I like Panic Attack. I like Serpent and the King. Invisible Shield. I like that one. It's got this. And there's moments on this album where there's melody lines, especially in the melody lines, that I say, why does that sound so familiar? Like, for instance, here in Invisible Shield, there's like this pre-chorus thing that reminds me of Sinner Curse and Damn You, All Will Fall. It very much reminds me of that. And there's moments all over here, and I didn't quite sit down and rack my brain to try to figure out, what these things were reminding me of, but that particular one jumped out at me. Crown of Horns. Now, this is interesting. Crown of Horns, when it was released as a single, I was kind of indifferent towards it. I was like, this sounds like a Rob Halford solo song. It didn't really do much for me, but in the context of the record, where it comes in at track number 6, I felt like I needed this. I needed a change of tempo. I needed a change of feel. I needed something that sounded different. So it actually works for me really well here in the record, where, again, I feel like there's too much stuff that kind of sounds the same. All right, what else? Escape from Reality. I really, really love the chorus in this one. This is another one that has kind of a different feel to it I really like, but I just love the chorus in this one, the way it sort of drops down and it gets into this sort of modal guitar riff. Fight of Your Life has a cool bluesy rock and roll feel. That kind of jumped out to me. That's one of the bonus tracks. The Lodger, I thought, was cool. It's almost a ballad. Again, I kind of wished it was a pure ballad on here, but I appreciate the chorus is a little bit different in The Lodger. It's catchy, and the feel of the song is a little bit different. But then there's just songs on here that, like Devil in Disguise, Gates of Hell, As God Is My Witness, let's see, Sons of Thunder. Did I mention that I like Giants in the Sky? I do like that one. There's this cool kind of quiet middle section with acoustic guitars. Again, I wish it was just more of that kind of stuff. But there's just a little bit too much on here. Fight for Your Life. That's cool. I mentioned I like that one. Vicious Circle. Too formulaic for me. So there were just one too many songs that just sort of drone on at the same tempo for me. And again, not that they're bad songs, but they just kind of sit there for me. They just didn't reach out and grab me. So overall, hey, 9 songs that I really liked, 44 minutes that I really liked. That's something. I can't give the album any kind of like, wow, my mind is blown. Like when I listen to the Bruce record, Mandrake Project, and I know I made the video where I'm reacting to every song. The music isn't playing in the background, so I know it's kind of a hard thing to follow along with that. But there were genuine moments in that Bruce album where if you watch that video, you see I get choked up. I get really emotional. There's things that just surprised me that I was like, whoa, this is different. And wow, this is just, I love this chorus or whatever. And there were times on it that things didn't work for me on the Bruce album. But there isn't a lot of that on here where I'm just like, whoa, this is like really blowing my mind. This is, wow, I didn't expect this. If anything, it's kind of like, yeah, this is an album that I would expect Judas Priest to put out around this time in their career. And maybe I was just hoping for a little bit more. Richie Faulkner was kind of praising it like, they really took some chances on here. And I don't hear that. There's in some of the advanced singles like Panic Attack, I think had some cool little unique riffing things going on. But in general, I don't know. I don't hear a lot of them taking chances. I hear a kind of a standard 2000s era Judas Priest, 2010s, 2020, Judas Priest in 2024. This is kind of what I expect to hear from them. So maybe I'm a little disappointed in that respect. But again, there isn't anything really offensive on this. There isn't any song that I'm like, whoa, that is just a horrible, horrible song. There's nothing like that. It's just that it kind of sits there for me at like a 7 out of 10. Maybe if I want to be generous, an 8 out of 10. So, all right, there you go. There's my early impressions of the new Judas Priest record. I'm really curious what you guys think of it. I got to go. I'm off to see KK's Priest. Maybe I'll make a video about that, try to take some video of it. But I'm curious what you guys think of the new Judas Priest album. Let me know in the comments down below. Till we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.